Hi, it's Nina with Stitching with a Smile. Welcome back. This is our last Hardanger stitch-along, our last HAL. We're going to cut out around the buttonhole stitches. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can leave it as is and turn it into a pillow, whatever it is you want to turn it into. But I will show you how to cut around the buttonhole stitches so that you can make it into a doily if you like. I wanted to come on here and just say thank you. I've enjoyed this. Your comments are wonderful, and the subscriptions are just skyrocketing. I can't believe that. So I wanted to say thank you, and it is so nice that I can share this and get some others interested in Hardanger, and that in turn then helps me because the designers keep designing, the manufacturers keep manufacturing, and the retailers keep retailing. So I'm so glad that I've been able to share this with you, and that there is enthusiasm out there. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. And we're going to carry on. Bye-bye. Look what I did. I was so busy at the very beginning concentrating on the path that our needle weaving was taking that I completely forgot to put in the dove's eyes at the very start. So when I realized that, at this point, I had to make a decision. Was I going to start putting the dove's eyes in and then correct my mistake later, or just leave them out completely? So I decided I'll put the dove's eyes in, and I put them in as I went all the way around. And I've come up here, and now I need to somehow get them in here. So I think the only way I can think of is, where's my needle, is I fastened a new piece of thread behind kloster blocks, whether it's up here or down here. Then on the back of my work, I brought the thread through the back of the needle weaving, and I'm bringing it out into each square to do the dove's eye, bring it through the back of the needle weaving again, come to the front, do the next dove's eye. So let me show you quick how I'm correcting my mistake, just to give you more specifics. So at the back of my piece, you'll see that I'm running the thread. I came through the middle of this needle weaving bar, running it through here just to kind of secure it so it doesn't flop around. I secure it, let me bring it over here. I secure it behind a couple of the threads in the middle. Now I'm using a size 24 tapestry needle, but if you're having trouble, use a size 26 or a 28 tapestry needle for this part if you made the same mistake I did, or just simply want to add dove size. So I'm at the back of the work, I've secured it behind the needle weaving in the middle, closest to this opening where I'm going to put the dove's eye. Drop my needle to the front. Let me find it. And start my dove's eye. So let me sit down and get that going. Okay. As I finish the dove's eye, go down into the middle of this needle woven bar, come to the back, fix your dove's eye just a bit. I'm going to go underneath, since I've got some happening here, I'm going to go underneath, that'll help it. Go underneath this one, just to keep it from flopping around. It's always hard to do when I'm under the camera. And then I'll put it underneath the middle here, and then go to the front and do the dove's eye again. Those are the dove's eyes I've added in after the fact, and these are all the dove's eyes I've done while needle weaving. There you go. Now let's get on to cutting around the blanket stitches. When you cut your blanket stitches, you're going to cut, of course, all around the outer edge, but it's much easier to do it from the back of the work because at the front you have that ridge going over top, and at the back you can get in pretty close to cut. It's tough to cut around the corners. I do only 1 or 2 threads at a time. In the corners, not too bad. And if you've got lots of straight lines, there is a little bit of a trick. So why don't we do that first? You don't have to do this, definitely. You can just start cutting if you like without this. But what you could do is this thread, this fabric thread running just on the other side of the blanket stitches, we can cut that and weave it out so that we can get into the blanket stitches. Let me do that and show it to you. So I cut that thread and I'm taking it out, so it's easy now for me to get my scissors into there and cut. Just a little tip, it takes a little bit of extra time. It's only if you want to do it, you don't have to do it. Let's start doing some cutting. Now again, I'm going to try to keep this in the camera range, but I have to do it, I can't do it through the lens. So as I go around the corners are the toughest, so I might just do 1 at a time or 2 at a time to go around the corners, and you just want to make sure that you're not catching any of that thread that you stitched with to cut, because you can see that it is in there. So that is the only thing, and if your scissors are too sharp, they're going to cut that accidentally if you hit it. So you do want to make sure that you're somewhat careful, or have scissors that aren't quite as sharp. And once you start getting to a straight portion, see my scissor keeps hooking on that thread. I can feel it. I can't see it, but I can feel it hook on there. And it is hard for me to see this when it's underneath the camera. There we go. Okay. And I cut. I'm okay there. And again, I'm cutting. Let me cut a portion without pulling that thread out on the straight part. Pick up as many threads as you feel comfortable with. I've picked up 4 here, but I want to make sure that there's no sewing thread, no stitching thread underneath there, and I can cut it. Or where I've pulled the thread, it's much easier to get my scissors in and do a cut that way too. I'll cut this out. I'll be back to show you the finished piece.